Song 7. Song Nikali. You can follow that song. सॉन्ग बुक में मिलेगा. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर दासे करुणा करी. ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर दासे करुणा करी. पद छाया सुध हे माया. पद छाया सुध हे माया. तुम्हार चरण छाया बेग दोमी छाया दोष शोधी छाया गुण देह दाते. छाया बेग दोमी छाया दोष शोधी छाया गुण देह दाते. छाया सत्संग देह हे हमारे. छाया सत्संग देह हे हमारे. बस की संगे रवासे. एक किया मारा नहीं पाया बल हरिनाम संकीर्तने. एक किया मारा नहीं पाया बल हरिनाम संकीर्तने. तुम कृपा करी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया. तुम कृपा देह कृष्ण नाम जाने. देह कृष्ण नाम जाने. कृष्ण जी तुम्हारा कृष्ण दीते पारो तुम्हारा सकती आचे. कृष्ण जी तुम्हारा कृष्ण दीते पारो আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি. আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি. ধাই তব পাছে পাছে. ধাই তব পাছে পাছে. ও হে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়াল সাগর দাসে করুণা করি. दिय पद छाया सदय माया. दिय पद छाया Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. So Hare Krishna devotees, we will have this for a few weeks. Krishna will know. So this is basically Sunday morning class. So this song's meaning goes like this. O venerable Vaishnava, that means respectable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. That means to me, give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. So we are praying to Vaishnava that he has to give us ashram. I hold on to your lotus feet. Second one is very important. Teach me to control my 6 passions or 6 urges. I will be basically touch basing that. Rectify my 6 faults. Bestow upon me the 6 qualities and offer me the 6 kinds of holy association. So everything is 6. Like we have 6 Goswamis. Similarly, there are 6 kind of urge, 6 kind of fault, 6 qualities which you need. Maybe 6 unfavorable, 6 favorable, and 6 kind of association which will touch. It will be nice. And then what he says, I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Sankirtan of the holy name of Hari. So everyone feels this, right? We cannot do alone. Yeah, हम लोग सब जब घर में रहते हैं, how difficult it becomes sometimes to practice. When we are in favorable association, it is so easy. Sometimes it is so easy that we forget to value that association also. No, it's like for cricketing people, right? When Sachin comes to bat, right? He makes it feel so easy that everyone thinks it's just so simple. Only till the next person comes and faces that. Of course, now this, I'm speaking Sachin because that's where I used to see. There will be some player now, good player. We forget the value of association sometimes. So it says that please bless me by giving me just 1 drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. And he says Krishna is yours. Who? Krishna is devotees. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant running behind you shouting Krishna Krishna. Ami to Kangal. Kangal samajhte na? Kisi ke paas kuch nahi hai. And we are just running saying Krishna Krishna Dhaitava means running, pache pache, going behind, each one. Running behind, saying that Krishna, Krishna, give me Krishna, because Krishna devotee can give us Krishna. So what we have thought today is we will just touch upon Chaya Bega Domi, the 6 kind of Bega, urge. So there are some urges. So urges are very, there is one, we'll start off with a comic note. This is in Odisha and West Bengal, like you have Tenali Rama in the south, Akbar Birbal in the north, in West Bengal and Odisha there is someone called Gopal Bhan, Gopal's tales. Gopal one time says that so they're very kind of very interesting pastimes and some stories which he shares, like Birbal shares and Akbar hears. We all have heard in or Tenali Rama, you already have heard in South India, something of this. So this Gopal, what happens is the king gets a son. The king gets a son. So when king gets the son, everyone comes and appreciates. So, oh, aapka beta hua hai. So someone says, your son is like having, you getting a son means it is like eating rasgulla, so sweet, so nice. Someone says it is equivalent to so much gold. So everyone gives one stuff, something very nice. Someone says it's like a diamond, and someone says it's the best thing which could have happened to our state or city, and everyone keeps saying that. Then Gopal comes. Gopal comes and says, wow, king, you getting a son is giving me the same amount of relief as I get after coming from the washroom, from the loo. Gopal says that. And it's like, king is very offended. The king is very offended. How can you, my son, I got a son, and you're comparing with coming from a washroom? So is it something? It's order. Put Gopal behind the bars. Jail him. 3 days he will be executed. बेटे के जन्म को वो टॉयलेट जाने के साथ बराबर करा रहा है, तो इसको तो मानना पड़ेगा. Gopal is like, Manima, my master, please don't. I have served you for 40 years now, 30 years now. All my life I've been serving you. Please forgive. No, you shall be put behind the. Then the king goes back to his room and the king says to the queen, you know what happened today when I said I have got a son? Gopal said this. So I put him, but don't worry, in 3 days I will execute him. How can he say like this about our son? Queen is motherly. Mothers are a little soft. He has served you so much. At least उसको पूछो कि उसका last wish क्या है. At least you should fulfill the last wish. Queen is not saying that don't take. He said, okay, let me at least do that. The king goes and says, Gopal says, one last wish. He says that day after tomorrow. Usually morning, like Prabhupada used to go on morning walk. Similarly, Gopal and the king used to go for morning ride, boat ride. This morning, we'll go on boat ride. Let be my last boat ride with you. We'll do it. Usually they go during the day, stroll with the king. He says, let me do it morning, day after morning, the day prior to my execution. He says, let's do it early morning so that I can prepare myself for my execution. He says, okay, that was at least I'll go with the last stroll. Like Mangala Aarti time or something. West Bengal, very nice rivers, Ganga is there. I don't know if they went in Ganga or they went in the ocean, but it takes Gopal. Gopal has one cross. No one else should be there. Only you and the king is usually late. He wakes up late. Morning, Gopal sends message. The king has not woken up. King jaldi jaldi hadbadi mein. King comes there. The king comes. King rushes and they go. So Gopal is rowing the boat. King will not row, of course. King, so they are going on the boat. Gopal is saying, yeah, my one mistake tomorrow, everything. But I remember how nicely we used to go meet people, do this, do that. Different katha. Now they have changed the role from a king and what do you call them? Jester. He was a court jester. So they have changed the role to friends. So king is saying, yes. It was always nice. Whenever my mood was down, you used to pick it up. Actually, the king has just woken up and come. So he has not done his natural duties. So he says to Gopal, thoda side karo. I want to release myself, to relieve myself. So please. Gopal says, this place people are there, we cannot do that. We'll go little at other island, we'll do that. But instead of coming towards the land, he keeps going inside and inside and inside. And the king is unable to control his urge. I don't know how many of you have faced that sometimes when you're traveling. Urge, you understand the urge. So the urge to pass water, or the urge to complete your nature's call in his life. King is like, Gopal, take it. And king cannot take up and do also. Gopal, just taking it, just taking it, just. He's like, king is like this. At last, king is okay. Gopal, if you're not doing, I'm just passing on here. That's it. He's like, he gets ready. He changed to a gamcha and all that. So he's just making himself up. And at the time, Gopal takes him to one particular island and they complete their work. King, after that, king comes back and says, what a relief. It's the best thing. What could have happened? And then Gopal said, I said you what? How happy are you feeling now? You're feeling happy or not? And he's like, yeah, super happy. He said, yeah. He said, that's what I said. You're feeling so happy. I was feeling that much happy when you had a son. So I understand that. So we have jokes apart. So it becomes very certain time when urges come. You just want to do away with the urge. That's why they are called urge. And that's why it's like you have to try to close on them. And what is the usual thing we do? If an urge comes, let's complete the urge. Then it gets done. And that's what even some of the philosophers have explained. Don't take with this example. Like you have so many. There's a guy called Rajani. They say that okay, you have an urge, you just close on the urge, and then you will become what you say you will get, you will be, you will not feel the urge again later. But that's not the case. What Srila Prabhupada says is that this urge which we all have is like itch. Itching. When something itches, you feel the urge to itch that. Yesterday, Abhishek or someone was saying how nice a word khujli is. So what? He was holding two things in his hand, and he was getting itchy. His head was itching, and he was saying, "How does he itch?" And then he asked the other Abhishek to itch, and the other. That urge, no, the itch. But if you get some itch or rash, if you itch it again, no, it increases. It never reduces. You have to control that urge. While for passing water or passing, relieving yourself, you may have to close it, but the urge to itch, you have to control it. If you don't control it, it will not get cured. So that's why that urge is called as vega. Even in Hindi or Sanskrit, you can call beg. Beg समझते हो? जल्दी 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 करो. हाँ, जो बेगा यानी वो the Bengali also is bega. Bega means the urge, and that is what is chaya bega domi. Says, please help me control the 6 urges. So he says there are 6 kind of urges which a human being or a devotee has. We are mostly talking about devotees, but this is universal. And this is the first verse. जब उपदेश देते हैं, उपदेश अमृता रूप गोस्वामी, he's speaking about 6 kind of urges. This is the verse number 1. What is that verse? Nectar instruction is very important. This is the verbs. Vāco vegam. Can you repeat this? Manasaḥ krodha-vegaṁ. Jihvā-vegam. Udaropastha-vegam. Etān. Vegān. Yo. viṣaheta dhīraḥ. sarvām apīmāṁ. pṛthivīṁ śiṣyāt. vāco vegam manasaḥ krodha-vegaṁ. jihvā-vegam udaropastha-vegam. etān vegān yo viṣaheta dhīraḥ. sarvām apīmāṁ pṛthivīṁ śiṣyāt. What does it say? What are the urges? It says, translation by Prabhupada. It says, a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak. So first vegam is urge to speak. बोलने का. बोलना ही है. Second is mind's demands. Third is the actions of anger. 3. First, tongue, mind, because urge to speak is also some way it's like, but we can also consider urge to speak, mind, and anger. And then the urges of tongue, belly, and genitals. This, whoever can tolerate is qualified to make disciples all over the world. He says, but many of them, when we hear this, we think this is only for senior devotees. Is that this is for very senior devotees? Why it is only for us? But if it was only for sannyasis or gurus, then this should not have been the first Upadesh. This is the first Upadesh. First Upadesh is you have to control your urge. The 6 urge you have to control. If you don't control the urge, then nothing can be done. And let's take one at a time. The urge to speak. All of us have that. When is speaking, we just can't control ourselves. But how did Krishna do in Bhagavad Gita? Did Krishna start speaking? Total first chapter. Did Krishna speak? Krishna was just listening. Krishna was just listening. Only listening. Listening. Because he was a good listener, that's why he could speak later. The maximum slokas in Bhagavad Gita is by whom? By Arjuna? Or by Sanjaya? By whom? Krishna. Anyway, he had to speak, so kya fatafat? Should he have started speaking? Then Arjuna would not have asked. First thing is, we have to control our. First, to be a good listener. First, listen. Sometimes you don't want to listen. When the person is speaking itself, certain times, when a person is giving the class, even while he's giving, our mind is already forming some questions also. This is the question I should ask. This is the question I should ask. How is he speaking this wrong? This wrong is speaking. I should ask him. Even in class, it's not only spiritual, even material. Your teacher is coming to college to teach. Could be just a senior person. कैसे पढ़ा लेगा देखता हूँ मैं अभी हाँ ये बताया ना अभी मैं इसको ये क्वेश्चन में आज पढ़ के पूछूंगा. We are not even listening. He may have given that answer. Very, very difficult it becomes when such thing happens. We don't want to hear. We are always in a that's a very big urge to speak. Right? And that is one urge which we have to. How will we do? And not only that, we have the urge to speak, and we have the urge to speak everything that we know. And usually material affairs, idle talk, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami is actually our Prayojana Acharya. Different acharyas, Sambandha, Vidya, and Prayojana. And I was saying yesterday also, I was saying you all in the temple when we were reading Prahlad's prayers. Which 7th canto, which chapter was that? 9th chapter, right? 9th chapter. Yeah. Seeing that how excuse me. Prahlad is starting up with what? Prahlad is starting up with Prahlad's first thing is saying that I'm not qualified. What is Prahlad saying? I'm not qualified. When will you want to speak? When you think that you are overqualified to speak. That means ये बाकी है ना, चल दे, दनादन देते ना. When you feel you're qualified to speak, but a devotee Vaishnava will understand that I'm not qualified. I said, I'm not qualified. Unless it's an instruction. It's an instruction, like in front of a spiritual master, you don't speak, but you only have to hear from the spiritual master. But if spiritual master asks you to speak, you have to speak. So and during that time, we were actually seeing that how Prahlad was saying that I'm not qualified. I'm from this family. I'm from the family of demons. How will I do? Before me, Brahma are there who are transcendental. So if we always find out among devotees, so we actually touching the topic that how Vaishnavas can help us to control the urge. So the way the Vaishnavas can control our urge to speak is if we always think that the other Vaishnava knows more than. If we can bring this thought into my mind that the other Vaishnava knows more than me, then we will be more interested in hearing from. Supposing tomorrow you see someone very capable, your Gurudev in front of us. Do you want to give a class in front of us? You want to hear from him. That means your whole total urge to speak is. And the first thing is you first make yourself understand that other person is better than you. Vaishnava is always better. What is the prayer we sing every day after our 10 offenses to holiness? Vancha kalpa sarvyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnava. Means what we sing? We're singing a Vaishnava. Let's all offer our humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees who are just like desire fulfilling trees. That means we are saying that the Vaishnava, and that is not just a statement, it is a fact which we may not be able to relate. So if we can understand this with the Vaishnava, then it will be that. Then second thing comes, okay, urge to speak is coming up. But whatever I am speaking, is that going to help me? Is that going to help me? Is that going to help the entire world? Or is it just Gramya Katha? First, always while speaking, just think about this. Whatever I'm going to speak now, is it going to be beneficial for the other person or not? Chapter 17, let me show you. Chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita. Remember that. What am I trying to say? Surya, what am I trying to say? What is that? What is it called? It is called austerity of speech. Which verse is that? Chapter 16 or 17? 17. Yes. Text 15. You're right. Let me share this with you. Chapter 17, text 15. In Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is like Bible for us. Not Bible, more than Bible for us. Bhagavad Gita, what is it? Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate. What does it say? Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others. And also in regularly reciting. So if we are doing vāco-vegam, so the first one is vāco-vegam. वचन के वेग को वचन का वेग को अगर आप कंट्रोल कर लिए, सोचो कि आधा बैटल आपने जीत लिया. Anywhere, you even if it's in a corporate world, even in this world, any of this world, we always have the urge. But the austerity of speech is that whatever I'm going to speak now, what should it pass through? What we can make a small acronym we should make something for this. Truthful, pleasing, beneficial. I'm going to say something to Abhishek. Is it going to benefit him or not? If it is not going to benefit him, no need to tell him. And by my telling, will he get agitated? Then I should not be saying. I can say the same thing in a way which will not agitate him, but still can be beneficial to him. See, sometimes when we are saying something beneficial to someone, it agitates. When will it agitate? When they are not ready to accept. You say it's strong also. Hey, Suryavanshi, but and Suryavanshi like, next क्षण से मैं अनादि को नहीं देखने वाला. दरवाजा को धम बंद कर. The thing may be beneficial for him, but it agitated him. That is not proper. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada said that Srila Prabhupada, at a certain point of time, he could chastise in front. But he said, you all don't try it. An old man can get away with that. Because of his age, sometimes he can. Of course, Prabhupada never spoke against scripture. But he could get away with it. He could still say the scientist, a rascal, you are a rascal, you are cheating everyone. आप एक साइंटिस्ट को सामने बिठा के बोल दो, hey, what engineering are you teaching me? Tomorrow Anil is going to his college, and to his computer science teacher is going to say, you sir, you are just wasting the life of everyone. You are a rascal. Teacher बोलेगा, get out. Because it agitates him. Parents. कभी parents को आप लोग जाके, you know that taking Krishna consciousness is very beneficial for parents. But you go to your parents after you all have stayed in base, you have learned something, and then you go, no, ये क्या कर रही है? खाना में आपने क्या डाल दिया? You have put onion in there. जानते हो onion डालने से क्या होता है? ये तुमको कुछ ठीक से पता भी नहीं, कैसे तुम? That is beneficial. But can she take it that time? Total thing will mess up. So austere your speech. But of course, you should not lie. Austere your speech contains in speaking that is truthful. You have to speak truth, but in a way pleasing. How do you do that? You can take the help of seniors. Sometimes seniors can tell you. We usually don't teach to our parents. We usually ask our seniors to teach to our parents because they have a greater sense of acceptability there. Acceptable. Sometimes to our spouse, we may not. The same thing you may say to your spouse. The spouse may not agree to that. Thinking, because the spouse has seen you even before you are Krishna conscious. Or your parents have seen you before you are Krishna conscious. So that becomes difficult. How will this person be able to say, when I know they are different? Even to our old friends. So, but if you bring some other person, and they say, so these are some tricks of trade. But the basic thing is you should always speak whatever is beneficial. So next time you have the urge to speak, जीवा में खुजली हो रहा है बात करने को. You're feeling if I speak now, is it going to be beneficial for them? No. Yes, it's a. But is it going to be pleasing to hear them? Can they take it now? If they cannot take it, just don't speak. Just listen. Come on. गाड़ी में एक रिवर्स गियर है, पता है? You need a reverse gear or not? Sometimes not going front is also success. Sometimes taking a reverse gear is a success. थोड़ा पीछे आ जाओ. Don't speak that. Come back. You come back. Because once you take a reverse, then you can accelerate. I don't know if nowadays they have the hot. छोटे trains, छोटे small cars used to be there earlier. When you all were small, so there used to be small cars. So if you have to push, if you push like this, it will go slow. But if you pull it back and then leave it, you accelerate. But sometimes you have to take a reverse gear, not speak, because they cannot take it. It may be pleasing, it may be truthful, it may be beneficial, but it is not pleasing to them. That is one. Second is, we don't idle talk. We don't idle talk. What is idle talk? Now, me, at certain point of time, every one of us would think about it. If I now start talking about IPL match, for instance, I start talking about IPL is the hour, talk of the hour. Is it anyway actually pleasing? Think about it. For us devotees, I cannot go and give this class to outside. Is it really going to help him or me? Is it going to anyway help out? Going to help. That is one more big topic. So she says, can I start speaking on Kashmir files now? Is it really going to help them? Ideally, are we supposed to think so much about Hindustan, Pakistan, America, Canada, Ukraine, Russia? Is it really going to be beneficial? We are ideally supposed to be devotees all across. We're supposed to do that. So run away from such conversation. You're not going to get a Nobel Prize staying there and debating on that. They may say you don't know, it's okay. Smile, walk out. What's the problem? Reverse gear. No need to talk about this. Smile and come up. Do I need to talk about? This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to the Prayojanacharya. Gramya katha kahibe na. Don't do village talk. What is village talk? In villages, if you go, everything is good in village except for the talks. Village life is very nice, but village talks are 2-3 mothers or 2-3 fathers. They get together and that talk is only about mera beta ne kya kiya, tumhari beti ne kya kiya, and why is it, what is also army katha, then we'll call it. All that happens. That should not be done. Idle talk. So austerity of speech involves no idle talk. So what will you talk? Now when you see someone, as soon as you see, there is a opening. अब जैसे ये opening है, ये opening है, तो ये opening every time in and out हो रहा है ना, नमस्ते. ये opening में every time hearing हो रहा है. अब ये opening के सामने थोड़ा रुक जाता है, तो वो बड़ा problem है. तो हमेशा बोलने को कहते. So what will you talk now? So in order to talk, you should have some substance to talk. So that's why in austerity of speech it is saying you should always read Vedic literature. Because when you read Vedic literature, only then you will be able to speak about it. Who will speak about Dhruva? No one is reading about Dhruva. No one is reading about Vaman. No one is reading. Yesterday I was talking to boss. I was little actually taken aback. They didn't know about Vaman Deva or Bali Maharaj. But they knew about Onam. Correct? No? I'm just saying it. It's not your mistake. The mistake is with our generation. Because we didn't give that knowledge. And why didn't we give? Because we didn't study that. So austerity of speech also involves reading every day. What reading? Not reading novels, not reading WhatsApp messages. Reading Bhagavatam, studying Bhagavatam, studying Bhagavad Gita. Every day. We should make it a habit. Start off. Your day, you should start off by every day studying. Take as much as time as you can. That's a relative term. For some, even studying 1 hour is not enough. For some, studying 10 minutes is an austerity. If you give them something to read, within 2 minutes, they can sleep off. As soon as you give them one book, they don't need sleeping pills. But they should study. They should study. So, and how will this all happen? This will only happen in the association of. So to control our urge to speak, so we'll conclude with this and we'll go to the next one next time. So vāco-vegam, to control our urge to speak, we should always stay in the association of devotees. Why? Because only when you stay in the association of devotees, you will know that how much less of philosophy you know, how much less of Shastra you know, how much less about Gurudev you know, how much less about Prabhupada you know, how much less about cooking you know, how much less about singing you know, how much less about mridanga playing you know. Why? Because Vaishnavas are desirous. They have so many qualities which you don't have. But instead of doing that, we are only finding faults in Vaishnavas. And that Vaishnava is not doing this, that Vaishnava is not doing this. There is a very interesting thing in Ramayana. I directly didn't read that in Ramayana, I heard it from a Vaishnava lecture, but very much effective in this sense. Someone comes, a dog comes to Lord Ram and asks for justice. The Brahmana did something to me. Someone can help me remember that story a little bit. But then the dog says, he says that he ill-treated me. So Lord Ram says, what punishment should I give? He says that make him the president of the Brahmana community. Make him the president of the Brahmana community. He says, why is that? He says he will always think that he is the biggest and he will keep speaking something to them. And when he speaks to them, they will curse him and he will become like me, a dog in the next life. You understand that? So that means he says, what does he say? He says, give him a good position. Essence of that. Give him a good position. When you give a good position, he will have the urge to speak. And when he speaks, everyone else who are actually having the speak, they will curse him and then his next life is doomed. So with Vaishnavas, we will not be in that problem. Because with Vaishnavas, always the thing is to serve. Prabhu, Matajis, we have to serve them. And only with Vaishnavas, you can sit together and study scriptures. दूसरों के साथ बैठोगे तो इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ोगे या फिर न्यूज़ पढ़ोगे या कुछ पढ़ोगे, पर वैष्णव के साथ बैठोगे तो क्या पढ़ोगे? भागवतम पढ़ोगे, भगवत गीता पढ़ोगे. That is austerity of speech, because you will have that austerity to learn something. You'll have that. And when you start doing that, then of course, whatever you speak after that, any issue came, okay, such a problem is happening, what is the resolution? You will immediately remember, oh, during Prabhupada's time, this was the resolution given, and you can give that. Understand? We can take from Shastras, we'll understand, okay, this solution was given in Bhagavatam. When someone ill-treated the child, what was done? Then we will read from Bhagavatam. So everywhere it will be scriptures. So Chaya, Bega, Dumi. So what are the 6 urges? Urge to speak. And second one is urges of mind. Third is urge of anger. And what is the fourth one?
Belly.
Tongue.
Tongue.
Once again, tongue. We'll come to the urge of tongue, belly, and genitals. One straight line. Straight line. First you control this, then you can control this, then you can control your genitals. So we'll once again have a session on this next week. It's already 9:15. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama. The only request will be that you are try this week to control the urge to speak. Huh? You should have an urge to listen. Listen more. You can only listen more when you understand that others know more than us. Oh, Abhishek has taken. Hare Krishna. Anyone has any questions or comments or additions? You can see that. Okay, I think nothing else. We'll stop here.